So, back making reviews. It's nice that I finally finished this show on Disney Plus I was watching. It was only like 30 episodes, but now I can kind of get back into some of the other shows I'm want to watch through and get done. But I did review the shorts on my second channel. So you can check out the show on Disney Plus and its shorts. The show's called Big City Greens. This show is what we call an episodic comedy. So if you don't know what that means, it seems kind of like an obvious thing that majority of people should know what it means, but a lot of people don't. So I'm just going to explain it really quickly. An episodic comedy is a show that it doesn't have a story. Like, I would compare this to Angry Beavers. This show is just fun adventures. It's goofy. You don't have to watch every single episode to say you've experienced the show. Danny Phantom has episodes that continue on to each other. He develops a new ghost power. Great. Now that is in the next episode and things like that. So it continues on forward. There are reoccurring villains and things like that. So that is what an episodic comedy is. Angry Beavers. A show like that. SpongeBob is an episodic comedy. You don't have to watch every episode of SpongeBob to understand SpongeBob. It's not that hard. So, yeah, this is that type of show. And I think it's a really fun show. It's about this family called the Greens, and they kind of, there were farmers that lived out in the country, and they moved back into the city with the father's grandma or mom, which is the kid's grandma, and they're out, and now they're living in the big city. So that's them adjusting to life, making new friends, and it's fun to watch. You know, it's a lot of the comedy here is actually pretty funny because a lot of it is kind of like Amphibia, which is another series that's on Disney Plus that you can check out, another animated series where it has a lot of dark humor that it employs, and there's so many moments that just catch you off guard, and you're like, that is freaking hilarious. I laugh a lot. Also, it's just the fun of the characters that are really funny. Also, this world, I'm gonna say this right now, is almost as big as the Simpsons world. Like, not with how many characters reoccur, but just how many random background characters there are that are really funny. Like, the biggest laughs I got out of some of these episodes are the ones with the characters randomly in the background, just sitting there, and they'll, like, the Greens will have something that they do, and then, like, randomly there'll be a joke that, because they'll like, or they'll toss like a ball and it'll hit like a background character, and they'll say like some random line, and it'd just be freaking hilarious as hell. Or there's like an episode where Cricket narrates something, and you're like, who is he narrating it to? And then you watch the whole episode, and then it's just like this, he's just sitting on a bench narrating to this old lady who has no idea what the hell he's talking about. And that's a funny episode. Also, I think that the animation here is pretty nice looking. It's nothing spectacular, but I like the character designs. I think they're amusing for the type of show this is, and they're very expressive and things like that. And I enjoy that, the art style of this series. And I think it's just a fun little show. I like how there is some story elements. Like, there's the episode where the mom comes back, and she and you learn what happened there, and you see. And I like that they keep bringing that character back. Like, two parents that are divorced that are on good terms is actually something that you don't see in a lot of shows. You know, you see a lot of shows where, like, a married couple's divorced, but they're on bad terms, and they're kind of on iffy terms, or they have to grow to kind of like each other, but not like each other because they're divorced, but, like, be okay with each other. You know, you don't see a lot of that type of stuff in shows. Which is a shame, because that is divorce is usually framed as a bad thing when it can be a beneficial thing, and it's shown that way here, and I like that. And it's just a fun little show. I keep saying that, but that's just what it is. There's not too much to say about it. I think a lot of the voice acting here is actually pretty great too. But yeah, I mean, that's all I really have to say about it. I think this is definitely one of my favorite Disney cartoons out there. I think it's just a fun, hilarious little show about just these characters that are really likable. You like watching these characters. Some episodes are definitely better than others, but there's not any real major weaknesses or faults with this show, I would say. I think it's just a fun show. It's a fun episodic comedy. So if you don't like shows that don't have like a story, I would recommend not watching this show because there isn't enough story here for you. But I think it's still a great, fantastic show.